All right, Holster Co. Reload Rant here.
Oh, boy.
So, which actually this works perfect because...
I don't think I have one. I didn't come loaded up.
Okay, so I have mentioned several times already that I listened to the Astafin podcast with Jace there, okay? And Astafin is breaking down fixing the sport. And now, if you want to talk about anybody who has the credentials to talk about fixing Supercross, Steve is one of them. Because Steve was one of the people, when Feld bought Supercross, that looked at buying it too.
Oh, yeah, and Monster Jam was going to be a package deal.
Yes,
right?
that is why he didn't buy it, because he didn't want the monster trucks. However, he has seen behind the curtain all the financials that Feld doesn't put out there that we don't want to see. He has seen all of that. He knows the money that makes.
He mentions this.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
He had another, what did he say? $5 million
that he could have
slotted to pay off to pay riders, and he was still going to make money.
Yeah, not a good look for Feld.
Not a good look at all. He goes hard on that podcast about merchandising, sponsorships, all that kind of shit.
Oh.
It's a great listen.
I can't wait.
It's a great listen. Now, here's some things that triggered in my mind. So we've all talked about we need a Netflix series, essentially, right? PGA's got one. Formula One's got one. Tennis fucking has one. Okay? We need this. And I'm thinking, because everybody's like, oh, we're such a niche sport, okay? Formula One in the U.S., prior to the Drive to Survive series, was a fucking niche sport in the U.S.
Yeah.
You had a niche group of people that really were into it. Everybody else was into NASCAR, okay? Now Formula One is moving their corporate offices to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's not, and let me tell you this, it's not the racing. The racing's fucking boring. I don't know how many Formula One races you watch. It's fucking terrible. Okay?
I watch the highlights.
There is exactly. I can watch a 7-minute highlight video, and that tells me everything I need to know about the race, because the racing is fucking boring. It's not like these guys are going wheel to wheel passing every single corner of every single lap.
It's all strategy.
Being there in person, from what I understand, is fucking boring.
Oh.
Okay. Have you ever been to a road course?
Yeah, Gingerman.
Have you ever been to a real road course?
Well, I know where you're going with this, because the time attack was boring, but the drifting was sick.
Okay. But you can't see anything other than the corner you're looking at.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who just went to Circuit of the Americas for the Formula One race. And he told me, he's like, honestly, I wouldn't go back. On top of there's 500,000 fucking people there, so you can't get anywhere or do anything or whatever. All you see is the corner. And he's like, the speed-wise, he's like, you really don't see the speed. He's like, you see the braking's cool and the sounds it makes when they brake. But he's like, you see them coming in, you hear the braking noises, they take the corner, and then they're gone. And that's it. That's all you see. So like I said, the in-person viewing's boring. It's not great. The TV viewing is boring. It's not great. So why the fuck can we not take our sport where, number one, I can go to a stadium, I can sit second level or even top of the lower bowl and see literally the entire track. Literally. I'll give you outdoors. Outdoors is the same as a fucking road course. You can't see the whole thing. No problem. That's fine. That's a completely other animal. You know how I feel about outdoors. We'll just push that to the side. We're talking Supercross only. Supercross, I can go to the stadium, sit there, and watch that whole fucking track. I can watch Jason Anderson and Eli Tomac literally battle corner for corner the entire race, which I cannot do with Formula One. On top of that, you watch it on TV. There are races. Last night, not the most exciting race. Wasn't a lot of battling and passing. Whatever. But for the most part, it's usually pretty good. They can find a battle on the track or something. It's ridiculous that we can't... Astafin talks about we're marketing to the same fucking people all the time. That's what we're doing. That's our problem. We're not marketing to new fans, and we're not building a story. Okay, look at BAM TV. Mm-hmm. You take BAM TV, you mix that with the Craig vlog, you mix that
put them
with
all in one episode.
Kev's vlog, you mix that with whatever else, the Lawrence Brothers Red Bull thing, and you put that in a TV show, And it's money. And then dude, look at the fucking Haas team in Formula One. Everybody knows who those guys are.
They don't win a damn thing.
They don't win a damn thing. They are literally the farthest down on the grid. Nobody even makes it. It's like the privateer pits where they're at. But do you want to know why everybody cares? Because you build a story in this fucking show around this team and these drivers. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that we cannot do this. This right here would help fix the sport. And even if you don't sell it to Netflix. We have a fucking deal with NBC. NBC, we're on Peacock. Put it on Peacock. Like, it's no problem.
SMX, I will give SMX this, is they had some of the vlogs and behind the scenes stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
Have you seen some of those?
Yes. I watched one of them. I haven't watched a whole bunch of that
Step
stuff.
in the right direction. However, with Astafin and Roxanne and World Supercross, I think there's a blank slate there that those two are a part of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just, he laid it out, and there's no one, in my opinion, better to lay it out because he's seen the numbers to be like, this can be done, but like no one's making the investment and no one's pushing it. There are steps that are going in the right direction, but there's bigger steps that are super easy. You just have to open the checkbook
and do it.
Yeah, which to me, being a business owner, I spend money all the time I don't have. But I know that step is going to grow the business.
But you got to figure out how to use debt. Like, look at Apple.
Yeah.
They don't have any cash flow. It's all debt.
Actually, Apple has a shit ton of cash.
Well, they got a lot of debt, too, though.
They're not as debt-heavy as other companies.
Yeah, but I've seen big companies that rely on debt so they don't have to pay the tax on it and stuff.
Yes. So it's like for a few $1,000,000, you could produce this series, and we already have the guy. As Astafin said, you've got those Red Bull guys. What's his name?
Verstappen.
No. The guys that do all the Red Bull video series for the sport.
Oh, Wes Williams.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been at what's it called? Loretta's for 23 years. Can you imagine the library of footage we have of these guys, of Eli Tomac?
Yeah. They got burb shit.
So it's like you have all of this library to go back to make this series literally great. And build stories around these guys. And then, rising tide raises all boats. And then on top of that, you have to go into the sponsorship side of things, which is sponsoring the series for sponsoring a team.
There's value in, like, Haas.
Yeah. Oh,
because people like them, they're going to sponsor them.
This is another point that Steve made on this podcast. It's not a package deal. So what should happen is it should be like... what's it called? Like World Supercross is doing. The series should own all the teams. Then what happens is they go to, say, T-Mobile, okay? And they say, T-Mobile, you can write us a check for this much, and you're going to have this many riders who will be promo for you or whatever. It'll be on this team.
Yeah, you got to lay a package out. There's no framework.
It's too, what was the word Steve used? It's too scattered.
Yeah, there's no framework for nothing. Like, he used an example on Pulp, I think, one time. When you go to sponsor an NBA team...
Yes, you sponsor the team, and
you're getting this, and this with your sponsorship.
You're getting these players, you're getting this in the jersey, you're getting this in the stadium. Yeah, he covered all that in the show. And he even said, back in the... when was it? Early 2000s or something with the action sports things, X Games and stuff. He had T-Mobile. He used them as an example. And they were, writing millions of dollars of checks to athletes and this and that. And then like the next year, boom, like it just dried up. And he was like, what happened? Like, what did we do wrong? And they were like, dude, it's too fragmented. It's literally too fragmented. I got to know, okay, I got to write this check to this person. I got to write this check to the X Games. I got to write this check over here to this.
Too much work.
Yeah. We just want one thing, like, hey, we're going to sponsor Supercross. Here's a check. It gets distributed out. And this is where I think Feld is missing the mark. Like, Feld should be doing it because right now what you have, and we've talked about this at length, at nauseum. It's
not Feld. It's anything. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross should have been doing it.
It's just...
And World Supercross will do it.
Yeah. World Supercross will definitely do it. World Supercross is gonna do this. Steve said he's talked to them about this different stuff and, whatever.
And maybe it forces a hand on these guys to step up. It seems like they've been trying to answer.
The thing I don't understand is how Feld doesn't see it. They own all the monster trucks.
I don't think they've never had any competition.
Like they do the same. Like they literally do this with monster trucks.
When have they ever had competition?
I know that's a true statement too. But I'm just saying they own all the monster trucks. They do this. They get a check. They put it out. It's on this truck, this driver, this stadium.
They own the monster trucks. They own the names, everything.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying is when they sell a sponsorship like the Monster Energy monster truck, they sell that to Monster as, hey, you're going to get this many races. You're going to get this truck, this driver, whatever, So again, why do they not carry that over to Supercross? They could do the same fucking thing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. But I think the competition thing is going to force their hand.
I think so too. And
people like Steve actually speaking out about this.
Oh, yeah. That podcast is good, and it's going to blow some stuff up. 3.5 hours.
Oh,
it's pretty good, yeah. So, and it'll...
Did he mention the Stewart Reebok deal at all?
I don't think he talked about that.
Yeah, because he was... Reebok wanted to come in and sponsor Stu at one time, and he went to Pete Fox with it, and Pete Fox was like, I can't fucking touch that.
Yeah, I've heard that before in one of the interviews he's done, but yeah.
Or hang on, or another thing with Stu contracts. Do you hear about the Monster stock one?
No.
So when they were trying to get, the one with J-Law's agent.
Yeah.
And how he turned Hanson's Energy into Monster Energy and brought it into the sport.
Okay.
Listen to that one. It's really good. And then it's Scott Sepkovic.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of tells the story about Lawrence being out till 6 a.m. and still going a second a lap faster. At
Did he do one? Did he do one with Jace too?
No, Paul.
Oh, okay.
And he was telling about Lawrence running from the cops on pit bikes and just all kinds of crazy shit. Anyway, he said they tried to get Stu from when that Red Bull Monster deal went down. And they offered Stu stock options that would be worth hundreds of millions of dollars to this day.
Yep.
He didn't take it. And they were talking about there's multi-millionaires walking the pits right now to this day because they got in on Monster at the ground floor. Like they knew it was coming. So. But Stu, went Red Bull instead of those stock options. If he would have went stock options, he'd have a shit ton of money.
Yep.
And that's another thing that I don't think a lot of people think about when negotiating contracts and stuff, stock options.
Yeah.
How many companies are in our sport that even are publicly traded?
Yeah.
None. But if you bring in some companies like that, they could leverage that.
Yeah.
So,
did you hear the Alden interview on Pulp last week? And somebody asked him like, "Oh, you got any good Stu stories?" And then he was like, I don't know, not really. And then Steve was like, was there ever a time that he didn't show up for training? He goes, well, there was one day.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sitting there waiting and he doesn't show up and he doesn't show up. And I call him. I'm like, hey, mate, where you at? And he's like, look, man, I'll be honest with you. I'm just not feeling it today. I'm on my way to Miami. I'll see you tomorrow. So, all right. Holster Co rant over.
A bit of a long one, but
I want to fix the sport. I would really I need to talk to Jace some more about how much money do we really need to make one of these things happen?
Hey, I'm all about raising money. You want to know what I want in the local community?
What?
If anybody out there knows or wants to invest, and tell me what you think.
Okay.
So we live out here in the sticks, right?
Yep.
Where's your closest gas station? You're a little different than me.
2 miles down the road.
Okay. For me, I got to go all the way into Galesburg.
Yep.
Or I got to go all the way into exit 92.
Okay.
10, 15-minute drive each way.
Yep.
I want to put a gas station in Climax.
Okay.
Or small towns around the country. We could franchise this. I'm thinking big here.
Oh, boy.
Small towns, population less than 2,000 everywhere or whatever.
Okay.
2 pumps only. You got a diesel pump and a normal pump.
Okay.
You got your grocery part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Chumps. You only got 2 pumps.
I'll be honest.
The slogan is 2 pumps is all you need. You want to invest in my gas station?
I don't know about that right now. I'm going to need to see some numbers here.
Well, I need to get the numbers down, but is the concept's there.
I mean, maybe. I need to see some. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad concept.
Small town gas stations only. You want to franchise it out, your population has to be less than 5,000.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Kind of what I'm getting?
I understand.
Hey, need anything? I'm going by Chumps on the way home. You want me to grab some beer up at Chomp's?
All right, we got to move on here.
Or you want